Do you know whenever US get into trouble and enters a recession or crisis, their government loves to ask for Warren Buffett's help to save their country? Yes, you listened me correctly. A country is asking for one person's help. And that's the power of Warren Buffett. Hey guys, it's Hua, your investing friend. Today, let me tell you how many times did US ask for Warren Buffett's help. Alright, we all know that Warren Buffett is a legendary investor. But actually, he doesn't invest using his own name. He invests using his company, Berkshire Hathaway. Unlike other CEO in big companies like Tesla, Elon Musk still need to go into office to do day-to-day operation. Warren Buffett don't need to do all that. He just need to be like, this company good or not, that company good or not, just invest and their money will come. So-called passive investor just need to be very sharp and make the right investment decision. Then their money will come already. Don't need to punch card every day one. Hold down. At the end of 2022, Berkshire Hathaway is holding 130 billion cash. That is also why US government loves to ask for their help. They asked so many times already until Warren Buffett has the reputation of being called as the last line of defense for the US economy. Woo! In 1994, LTCM was one of the biggest hedge funds in the US. What makes LTCM so much different is it was managed by a group of PhD mathematicians, and some of them are even Nobel Prize winners. So this mathematician created an investing strategy using mathematical model to find mispricing in the bond market. For example, they will calculate the value of every bond in the market. And let's say they think this bond should worth 1 ringgit but it is trading at 99 cents, they will borrow money and leverage to profit on this 0.01 difference. You might think 1 cent very small, right? But if they leverage up to 250 times, 1% profit also can become 250% profit, okay? Using this strategy, LTCM made 20% return after fees in the first year, 43% in the second year, 41% in the third year, 17% in the fourth year. The fifth year in 1998. LTCM strategy straight away key because of the 1998 Russian financial crisis. Even though they didn't hold the Russian bond directly, their strategy will still be affected because their mathematical model worked under a panic mode. And because of this, LTCM straight away GG and suffered liabilities over $100 billion. Remember what I said? LTCM was so heavily leveraged at 250 times. A lot of financial institutions have borrowed money to them. So if LTCM GG, all the banks that borrow money to them, their money will gone like that. Means global financial system will also GG. So Fed asked Warren Buffett to help LTCM because they can't just let it die like that. It will drag the whole US economy to die along with them. But at that time, Warren Buffett was traveling with his best friend Bill Gates at Alaska. So he offered LTCM through a phone call. He is willing to buy LTCM's 100 billion portfolio for $250 million and inject another $3.75 billion capital if necessary. He gave LTCM 2 hours to think whether to accept this deal or not. LTCM thinks Warren Buffett sell already because the offer price was so low, so they rejected Warren Buffett's offer. So Fed bo pian have to tahan and force all the banks that borrow money to them to bail out LTCM. 1 year later, all of LTCM's investors got wiped out and their billions become zero. During 2008 Great Financial Crisis, many banks and insurance companies were failing because of the pop of housing bubble and the excessive use of derivatives. Warren Buffett got so many phone calls during the Great Financial Crisis asking him for help. The first one was from Lehman CEO, asking him to invest $2 billion into his company. Then, US Secretary of Treasury also called Warren Buffett to help and save Lehman Brothers. But after studying Lehman, Warren Buffett realized that it was in a very bad shape, and then he decided to reject the offer. 1 week before the collapse of US financial system, AIG, another big insurance company, also asked Warren Buffett to invest $10 billion. Warren Buffett knew that AIG was in deep shit, especially when they called on a Friday night. He rejected the deal in less than 2 hours time, but 2 days later AIG called again and then he rejected it again. The week after that, AIG failed and US government bailed out $182 billion to rescue the company. In the same week, Lehman Brothers also filed for bankruptcy, and that was the peak of the great financial crisis. 1 week later, he got another call from Goldman Sachs asking him for help. He accepted the deal this time and injected $5 billion into Goldman Sachs. Then, he wrote an article in the New York Times with the title "Buy America, I Am" to show his confidence in US business in the long term. Even with Warren Buffett doing this, the market still panicked because 2 more banks failed after that. The US government then launched a $700 billion TARP to buy all the assets of the failed banks. Warren Buffett then called the US Secretary of Treasury, Paulson, on one late night, not to say "I love you," but to tell Paulson not to buy these assets of the failed banks. It was better to inject capital directly into these banks because people were losing confidence in the banks. They don't know if their money is safe or not. If government can invest directly in all these banks, it will at least help to restore trust and confidence of the market. Eventually, market recovered and saved US economy from entering a depression. And the US government also made a lot of money from the dividends and share price appreciation after market recovered. After the great financial crisis, Bank of America was struggling due to the acquisition of Countrywide Financial in 2008. Basically, Countrywide Financial give out housing loan to people with bad credit profile. So they faced a high risk of bankruptcy during 2008 housing crisis. As a result, Bank of America ended up carrying a whole lorry of toxic assets and they were forced to pay $1 billion because of the housing crisis. Their stock price crashed, and on one late night in 2011, when Warren Buffett was chilling in a bathtub, he suddenly popped out a $5 billion idea and immediately called the CEO of Bank of America. He offered the CEO a $5 billion deal, and the deal was done in less than 24 hours time. $5 billion cash was injected into Bank of America few days later. Market gained confidence and rebounded significantly after Warren Buffett became the major shareholder of Bank of America. His investment is always chun cha bee hun, and he made more than $12 billion profit from Bank of America. If you're not living in the cave, you know now there's a banking crisis happening in the West. Silvergate Bank lah, SVB lah, Signature Bank lah have collapsed in the US. Credit Suisse, First Republic Bank, Deutsche Bank are all in deep trouble. And once again, US government is asking for Warren Buffett's help. Is this a signal that US financial system is in deeper shit than what we thought? Or is this a signal that things will get better? Soon, we will see. Until then, stay safe and stay strong investing. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!